On June 15, 2021, close to 28 Chinese Air Force aircraft, including fighters, bombarded Taiwan's air defense identification zone. Taiwanese fighters scrambled against Chinese aircraft. But now they're not alone. It's now been confirmed that Taiwan has strong support from world power United States. Here is this island of 23 million people trying hard every day to protect themselves and their democracy from mighty China. Taiwan is facing increasing threats from the communist country, which wants to project its power on the island. The tensions between Taiwan and China have escalated in recent weeks. Beijing has constantly raised its military and political pressure to prepare for war against Taiwan. To fight against the People's Liberation Army received help from Joe Biden administration. For the first time, Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen confirms the presence of US troops on the island. Tsai reveals that a small group of US troops are training Taiwanese soldiers to fight against China. According to media reports, US troops and Marines have been training Taiwanese troops since 2020. Nearly 24 US Special Forces had reportedly been training Taiwan's ground and maritime forces for at least a year. Taiwan President confirms that US support to Taiwan goes beyond weapon sales. Both countries are cooperating in training Taiwanese soldiers to defend themselves from China's attack. US Defense Department records show that the number of US troops in Taiwan has increased from 10 in 2018 to 32 in 2021. Tsai is the first president in decades to acknowledge the presence of US troops on the island for training purposes. In November 2020, Taiwan's defense minister announced and later denied the presence of US troops on its soil. The small island, located fewer than 200 kilometers away from China, is trying its best to save its democracy from Beijing. The relationship between Taiwan is at its lowest point in decades. Earlier this month, China sent a record of military warplanes into the air around Taiwan. China's display of strength was partially because of ties between Taiwan and the United States. US and China are constantly locking horns over America's support to Taiwan. Last week, US President Joe Biden asserted that Washington would defend Taipei if China attacked the island. Growing Chinese aggression and its increasing military activities have pushed Taiwan into a tight spot. Beijing regards Taiwan as a breakaway province, which it has vowed to reclaim by force if necessary. Taiwan President Tsai is ready to reduce misunderstanding and address political issues with China. But China is in no mood for the talks, as it has already been displeased over Taiwan joining United Nations. Over the past 2 years, Beijing has repeatedly sent its aircraft into Taiwan defense zone amidst ongoing threats and to keep Taipei's aging fleet under pressure. Stressed by China's pressurizing tactics, Taiwan hopes that the US would support them to defend the dragon.